Today we design 3 very different candy dispensers and 1 very special custom candy for that dispenser.
Push, push, push to compress it. Looks amazing.
How many grams is this? 950 times the size of a regular candy.
PEZ, don't sue me. I use PEZ for inspiration, but these are generic candy dispensers and I've made many modifications to the dispensers and candies. My kids got some PEZ packs for Festivus.
As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way. A Festivus for the rest of us.
And when I saw the pack, I assumed PEZ had done something new and cool and awesome that I'd never seen before. It looked like a super tall PEZ dispenser that could fit more candy.
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
It turns out it was just a very tall, wasteful package with a regular size candy dispenser and 3 packs of PEZ candy below. But it got me thinking about what a very tall candy dispenser would look like. Not just one little measly pack of 12 candies. I wanted 36 candies in the chamber and ready to go. Surely something like this would already exist.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
But nothing like what I wanted to do. So, time to design. I hate starting from scratch. I found some really great funny CAD models of candy dispensers. Some of these were really funny. I also found a generic dispenser model that I could use to get started and modify for my evil purposes. It even had a generic head which would allow me to switch out the heads if I wanted to. I started with this 3D model and with some help I converted it to a parametric design so that I could easily adjust different components individually. Thank you, Jenny.
I love my candy, but I wish it could just hold more.
Making the taller dispenser would be the easiest of the bunch. I would just have to make the inner and the outer part taller to accommodate 36 candies. The reason I just did 36 candies in this version is that is basically the limit of what my printer can fit in one print.
What? It holds 48. This is much better.
The triple candy dispenser.
I wish there was one that could shoot 3 PEZ out at a time. What? This one dispenses 3 candies at a time. That is triple to share with family and friends.
Hey guys, do you want a candy?
Yeah. And friends. No. Tell us which is your favorite. Also, please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Now, let's go big.
Early on in my research, I found a 3D model of a super large PEZ candy, and this got me really inspired. Then, I saw the video on the world's largest giant sticky ham by Nate from the internet. I decided to make the largest functional candy dispenser and real candy in the world. I started with the candy, as I was pretty sure that I could scale up the dispenser and make a larger one with my 3D printer. Research, the most important phase. I first watched all the How It's Made videos where they tour the factories and show how pressed candies are made. This would be a similar process for any pressed candies like PEZ, mints, Swizzler sticks, pressed lollipops, and more. While all the videos showed the factory and general process of preparation and packaging, most of them actually failed to show the most important part of the process to me.
The actual stamping!
Not sure what's so secretive about this, or how it would really help me without a giant press. A few of the PEZ videos mentioned that it takes 2 tons of pressure to make each PEZ, They seemed very proud of that. I actually found some candy presses for sale on eBay, but they were all way too small to be modified for my purposes. They are supposedly federally regulated, as you can make drugs with them, so I didn't even want to deal with that. The basic recipe outline is sugar, water, corn syrup, and flavor. A single Pez roll weighs 8.5 grams per roll, and there are 12 tablets per roll. A roll is about 34 calories. Each individual candy weighs 0.7 grams, has a length of 15 millimeters, width of 8 millimeters, and height of 5 millimeters. I was going to have to go big. I would like to make an extra large candy that is 156 millimeters by 80 by 47. Why those dimensions? I don't remember anymore. Maybe it was limited by calculation of how big a mold and dispenser I could print on my printer. That should create a candy of about 650 grams or just over 1.4 pounds, making it 928 times the size of a comparable candy. My idea is to take about 2 pounds of Pez that I will crush up, add some water, add some corn syrup to rehydrate it, and then press the hell out of that mush. To get 650 grams of the mixture, I crushed over 750 Pez, which is about 77 packs of Pez, and then reconstituted the giant candy.
1, 2, 3.
My lovely assistant Maxine. God, this is pure Pez.
Angel dust.
It's actually the rainbow.
God, it's blue.
Just a taste. I added some corn syrup and water and blended it in a food processor. So good. Oh my God.
That's perfect.
Holy crap. This looks beautiful. Time to test this in my first mold. I'm sure it'll work first time. This was a simple 2-piece mold with an air vent and pegs to keep everything aligned.
One, 2, 3.
Oh, Max. It didn't work as there was no way to get it out of the mold easily. This also might have been due to me using too much liquid in the first mixture. I clamped the 2 halves in the mold, but it kept leaking wet, sticky stuff for days, and it never seemed to really dry. There was nowhere really for the moisture to go inside this mold. I really needed to keep the liquid to a minimal. After a lot of table banging, I got the candy out in 2 parts. It was still very wet, and it took over a week to dry. While drying, it started to sag on the sides because it was so heavy, and now it would be too wide to fit in the dispenser that I planned to print. It was also in 2 halves, so I had to use some water to melt the halves together. I also wanted to make something simple and repeatable, so I guess onto mold version number 2. I found something like this which inspired the next version of the mold. I realized I needed to be able to have the top and the bottom slide into each other so I could generate significant pressing force. This new mold with the 2 halves and the ring allowed me to put the bottom in, pack the candy in, and then take this top and press as hard as I could to try compact the candy. But unfortunately, like version 1, it had a major flaw. If any debris got caught in the edges, it would stop the mold from closing completely. Mold version 3. This version now allowed the top and the bottom to slide into the ring without anywhere for the candy to prevent the 2 halves from compressing. I also added a little lip on the outside that would help me align the top and the bottom in the mold. But it just made it harder to take off without wiggling, which in turn broke the test candies. I then split the middle ring as I thought this would help me get the candy out of the mold. This was now a 4-piece mold. Top, the ring, and a bottom. To test applying pressure on this mold, I drove my car over this one, as at the time, I thought this is how I would generate the pressure needed to get the mixture to stick together. The mold didn't break from the car rolling over it, it just broke when it fell on its side. Version 5. Next, I printed another small mold. In this version, I removed the lip and made the ring a single piece again. The protrusion from the top and the bottom would ensure that it goes straight into the mold. I did some small tests on this mold and it seemed to work well. Now, time to go big.
Okay, let's look at the mold. It came out so beautifully. I used that nice plate on it. Came out fantastic. This is the bottom. That goes on there nicely. They're exactly the same, actually, except this one's deeper. But this one is the one that's going to get pushed to compress it. For 4th of July, maybe I'll release this video on the 4th of July. This is our red, white, and blue Giant Pez mold.
Again, I crushed over 750 Pez candies, which is about 1.4 pounds of Pez.
So let's get started.
I think that texture is good. I think with enough pressure, it's staying. I don't want to say it's doughy, but it's definitely staying put in the shape that you put it.
Still. I don't know, I can't see from this far.
Looks beautiful. It feels pretty good and hard. Look at that, mud.
Now we just got
Shape looks amazing. Now, what we've got to do is loosen this top. And this one actually got stuck in a little bit because it's longer. We should be able to loosen it a little bit. Oh, just hope it doesn't break. Oh, yes. I thought a clump of that was gonna be stuck onto here. A little residue, but for something this size, looks pretty amazing. The one side is shallow, the one side's deep, right? So if we take this side and we push down, the exact same shape, watch, it's going to start moving. Hopefully. Ah, come on. See, so it pushed that up. And now, I have to take this out. That should have loosened it enough. And this is how you give birth, right, to a Giant Pez tablet. Wait, it can be.
again.
Okay, you're not pushing in one spot, you're pushing all around. Slowly. I do not want it to break. We have to start this process again. There we go. Darwin, last push. There we have our first
634.
634 grams candy. Delicious. Pretty robust. It's pretty hard. I'm gonna go set this out to dry somewhere warm, maybe in like the proofing drawer in my oven, and I will see how this looks in a few hours.
Please comment, scientists out there. Any idea why when I mix a bunch of colors of Pez, it always seems to turn out green? Now that I had a working mold, I decided to make a chocolate candy for my dispenser. I chopped up some milk baking chocolate from Trader Joe's and put the bag of chocolate in the sous vide to temper it. It looked amazing, but I don't think I got the temperature quite right. But I like the look and texture so much that I'm not going to remake this. The pattern on the chocolate is the fat from the chocolate that didn't recombine properly, called blooms. Now that I've got a giant candy, I need a giant dispenser, right? I increased the standard candy dispenser to 950% of the original size, which should fit my new beautiful candy. My printer can't fit this dispenser, so I have to break it up into parts when printing. Like a dumbass, I printed an older version of the dispenser that didn't work.
You know, it seems like bad things are always happening to me. Like I have bad luck or something.
Son, you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
I also learned how to break up large prints in Bamboo Slicer using the cut and connectors feature. Bamboo Studios does all the work for you, breaking up the parts and creating plugs, dowels, or snaps.
Nice vest. I like the big metal buttons.
They're snaps.
So you can easily put the print back together. I started by printing the inner piece.
Inner peace, inner peace. Dinner, please. Dinner with peas. In a sesame seed glade.
To ensure that my new candy would fit. And it did! I then printed the outer piece. I found a limit of Bamboo Studios. You can only have 36 plates open at once in a project. That gives you an idea of how many iterations I did. Finally, what head should I print for the dispenser? A couple people suggested that I scan and print my head. And even though I have a high-res scan of my head, I decided to do something a little different. As a homage to the candy that I was making, I thought I would actually print a giant candy as the head, making it red, white, and blue, as this was actually supposed to be ready for the 4th of July. 2025.
My candy dispenser has a generic head. That way, I can just put on the generic head. Now you have a working candy dispenser, and I can put any head that I want on top. My custom head, my generic pusher. I've got a different head. And that's our candy-shaped head and our beautiful gold candy dispenser. On me. Ah!
Here is the finished dispenser.
The candy mold used about half a kilo of PETG, took just under 13 hours to print, and cost just under $11.
The candy contains 792 Pez, weighs 634 grams or 1.4 pounds.
The dispenser used 6.5 kilos of plastic, took 6 days and 7 hours to print, and cost about $110 in PETG. Just under 5 kilos.
Hope you enjoyed the process. I really did, and I learned a ton. Hit me up on social if you want me to make something else. You can find links to the 3D files and buy custom candy dispensers and candy from my store. See the links below. Thanks for watching.
For any legal complaints, please send them to M. Not for human consumption.
Gerrits. Simon G. Gerrits. I have no idea. Gerrits. G-I-1. Something German. Yeah, come. G-I-E-R-T-Z. What do you think? Gerrits? By Simone Gerrits. Simone? By Simone. Simone Gerrits. So basically it's a Pez gun in the shape of a gun. You shoot it and it shoots the Pez into your mouth. But like if it gets stuck in your throat, right? I'm sure some kid died and then they had to change it. But I'm sure it adds to the design. No, stop. but I'm sure it adds to...
Hello. I am here to I forgot what I was supposed to do today. I just want to make a bunch of money. Please subscribe.
They are supposedly federally and from what I read, they are supposedly federally, and from what I read, they are supposedly for the candy to prevent the two halves from compressing as much as I could compress them. Whew.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
I'm about 600 Pez short of a diabetes.
Type 2 adult onset diabetes? Shh. What does that mean for me?
Degree. Oh, Max. I'm sure you have seen the fake videos of Pez dispensers automatically taking the packaging off the candy. Challenge accepted for a future video.